Oh, so yeah.
Trish has another engagement again tonight,
Okay.
but she said she would be back whenever, maybe next week.
Sounds good.
Are we going to skip any time over Christmas, or what do you want to do?
Yeah, I was gonna say probably not until the 10th after tonight.
Okay. All right.
'Cause-
Okay.
Especially because work has gotten, that's another reason for the hat. Like I've been like totally, completely glued to the machine for this transition stuff. So
Oh, okay. Uh-huh.
work is just really, really, really busy.
And your hair is standing on end when you have a lot of work to do, huh?
Well, it's, I mean, it's, see, it's like,
Yeah, right. Right. Einstein.
indeed.
Yeah. Okay, so the probably the 10th then.
Yes, I would say
That would be
January
good.
10th will be the next one after tonight.
Okay.
Because
Now, will
January
you-
3rd is the actual day that we are doing.
Visioning.
Yeah, exactly. That's when all the new
Yeah.
members are sworn in. So,
Oh, okay.
and then next week is just going to be crazy, crazy, crazy.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
just to let everyone know, and Alan, let you know too, that it's going to be January 10th when we meet again next after tonight. So,
Alan is here.
yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Uh-oh. I lost something. I pressed the wrong thing.
Oh, we can still see you.
There we go.
So if you're not seeing
Okay.
us, we can still see you.
Yeah, I didn't see you for a minute. Okay.
Mm.
Okay. So we have 4 here. So is Keith here?
Not yet.
So who's
And
the
I'm
4th?
sorry, it says user, and I was going to rename you your name, but I totally forgot your name. Could you?
Yes, it's Renee.
Renee.
Renee. Yes.
Hi, Renee.
There we go. Hello, Renee.
Hi. Hi.
Hi. John, it gets crazy in our culture around Christmas, and sometimes it's hard not to get triggered in some of it.
Well, I mean, just always remember yourself. You know, once you've, even for a brief moment, like, because you're remaining kind of with presence and you're sensing the presence, you kind of drop back behind the presence and okay. So there's line, there's busyness, there's people pushing, going this way, that way, a lot of traffic. Even the grocery store might be very packed, and yet you're just with yourself. You know, you're not thinking about the fact that it's packed. You're just doing what is right in front of you. Okay, I need to go and get some groceries. And I'll tell you one thing, Harris Teeter, not to advertise them because I know this is like on YouTube and stuff, but Harris Teeter, we got for our group basically a turkey, a ham, and a prime rib. And we had the sides with them. They weren't able to provide the sides. So they gave us all that food for free, the turkey, the ham, the prime rib, which would have been like $219 worth of food. So it was free. And then you were supposed to call their number for customer service because they were going to credit you $50 on your Vic card, which is like their kind of bonus card type thing. And I called the number and she said, oh yeah, it's $50 for each meal. So I got $150 credit and $219 worth of free food.
Because of the government or what?
No, because of, they couldn't fulfill the sides. Like they weren't able to, supply and demand. I had
Yeah.
ordered sides of like cornbread and green bean casserole and all this sort of stuff, and they couldn't provide the sides. So they gave us the meals for free.
Wow. Wow.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
That's really
And
generous.
$50 credit on each.
$50 credit.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it was
Wow.
like, wow. But again, that wasn't unexpected. It's just, you go there, you do your thing, you do what's in front of you, and it's finished. And sometimes you say, oh, wow, amazing result. Sometimes it's like, oh my God, it was this or that, but you don't take the touch either way.
Yeah.
For that, we got the free food. Okay, very nice. And it got credited to the account. Okay, very nice. But there's no big celebration, nor is there a big depression. Honestly, even if they would have said, listen, too bad for you. It's supply and demand, and you know that the world right now is in chaos and turmoil. We can't get these green bean casserole and this stuffing. Sorry. It would have been like, okay, well, then that's that. So it's only important if you take the touch.
Well, that's true. And even though it's all illusion, that sometimes on the holidays and whatever, that expectation of the separate self might rear its ugly head, and this thing and that thing,
And you
Or
drop,
sometimes every
But-
back into yourself then. Just
yeah,
literally, because in meditation, you sort of feel this subtle sense of presence. So now you know that this subtle sense of
Right.
presence is there.
right.
The master has said the entire world appears on that presence. So now you kind of drop behind the presence, because that you're the awareness that this presence has presented. So you just concentrate on this presence and allow everything that was appearing on presence to come and go. And you just remain with yourself. And here, you're just in this, as Maharaj describes it, no experience, no experiencer, no witness, no witnesser. Nothing is there. Then there's presence. Then all of this busyness in this world, including this body form, is within that presence. But you're prior to that. So if you feel yourself forming someone that could possibly get disturbed by others, then you remain with your selfless self. And you can train yourself to do that. And then you might say, oh, well, then that's duality. But if you're already sitting there taking the touch of the world around you, then you can use this subtle sensation of, oh, I'm taking the touch, to then just, oh, so that I'm that. And you might even find yourself smiling for like, okay, it's very busy in the grocery store, it's very busy in the mall. And you're just kind of subtly smiling to yourself, because that's a natural reaction with the bliss of your own selfless self.
Yeah. Mhm.
Only when you project an I am somebody else having this experience is there trouble. And we know that's false. So why create an I am somebody else having an experience, good or bad, when you know it's not true?
Hmm.
Regardless the very good experience or the very bad experience. Both are appearing on your presence. So you remain with yourself. Just die, just die. And not even just die, because this just die, you're prior to this. There's like, and you can fall back into yourself anytime. If you've accidentally given yourself away by creating the concept that I am somebody experiencing something that I'm either appreciating or not appreciating.
Mhm.
Oh, Keith is here. owner. You're
Yeah,
Keith,
that's
right?
me.
Yes, yes, indeed. We'll put Keith.
Better tell Keith about January 9th.
Oh yeah, January 10th, actually.
yeah.
That'll be our next session. It'll be on the website and it'll be on the YouTube video, but
Oh, okay.
tonight's the last one until January 10th.
Oh. Okay.
Because it's really, really busy at work and
Uh-huh.
everybody has holidays and all this sort of stuff coming too. So.
I was thinking sometimes I can I get a feel for like you talk about nothing, you say nothing, and then I try to my mind tries to get an idea. Well, what is nothing?
Well, but nothing is prior to mind. Mind appears as something within the nothing that you are. So you can throw that away.
Yeah, and then there's also the idea that, well, okay, you're saying the nothing that you are. That's saying it's me.
No. But again, it's not me saying. You can investigate this for your own self.
Yeah.
See, when I'm saying it, it's like, oh, okay, yes. So when I get disturbed, I drop behind. I know that because in meditation, I can feel a sense of presence. I drop behind presence, and then there's nothing. There's a very deep peace without even being able to describe the attribute of peace.
Yeah.
But I can speak about that all I want, but this is for you to then go and say, okay, so I do this for my own self.
Yeah.
Because you and I are the same with the one selfless self. So it's not like somebody else has mastered this ability to remain with themselves and you have not. It's just this concept that you are something other than what you are because you have not yet discovered that you are.
Yeah.
And this is, again, meditation. You sit quietly, you feel this subtle sense of presence. Then, like Nisargadatta Maharaj says, remain with the I am all the time, the sense of presence, the knowingness, the selfless self. Just I. And there's an awareness that this presence has appeared to you. And you is indescribable. You is just that.
That's why it's not even a you. It's not even a me type of a you. So,
well, there's nothing, and that's the beauty of it. That's the.
And it's also
there is literally no experience, no experiencer.
But it's also kind of like everything also at the same time as
nothing. No. Don't even. Who cares about everything? Nothing.
I mean,
You're
as far as
here.
concepts go, nothing.
No concepts. When you're here, you won't use words.
Right.
There's no description. Why? Why describe? You're just here. It's like. And then, oh, so that I am that. Quiet. Keep quiet. Prior to words, prior to body, because this sense of presence appeared to this, and the entire world appears on that spontaneous presence.
I guess maybe part of my problem too is I do get the idea that words kind of help get me there at times.
They're terrible. Forget about the words because you're prior to words.
But I mean,
words came along with the body. As Maharaj would cut you off right now, he would say, prior to beingness, did you know anything about words? No word, no world.
But even saying prior to beingness is
only used as a pointer.
Sometimes, yeah, but that's
not to figure it out.
That statement might clarify it and let you enter the state of being free from words.
Nope.
And then I make the connection that it's the words maybe that help to get me there.
Nope. Remain with your selfless self, the subtle sense of presence, and you're the knower of this sense of presence. That's it. Spend all your time with presence until it drops, the dime drops, so to speak. Oh, so that I, and it's total because there's nothing there. There won't be any concepts. You don't have enough of you there to create a concept. A concept about what? It's just this, again, the black hole that sucks in everything. Maharaj says, concentrate on the concentrator until the concentrator disappears within the concentration. You're using this body to concentrate. You believe that you're concentrating on the awareness that you are. But the awareness, it's like the magnifying glass with an ant. The sun is coming in, the ant is coming, the magnifying glass burns through the ant, burns through this false sense of I when you remain with your selfless self. The recognition and the projection, the reflection of awareness, presence in an empty mind. That's why Maharaj says the mirror has to be clean and polished. Clean and polished means don't allow concepts to come over. Even when you think these concepts are great, one of the greatest concepts that can cause trouble is when I progress or when I'm with myself. When I'm with myself, everything is really good. There are times where I can go out to the mall, even in Christmas time, and I'm totally at peace. But this one that's totally at peace is just an appearance on presence. You're prior to that. No words, no world. Nothing is there. That is to describe only for you to investigate. Because, see, when you've investigated and you're like, oh, so that I am that, then all this makes sense. This nothingness. You're not saying, oh, but nothingness, that sounds very scary. You're saying, oh, okay, well, that's the best way to describe that I am.
And that's why I'm not sure. Sometimes I don't really connect that with a I am even, you know.
Well, the I am is just a sense of presence. And we can't get again with words. When Nisargadatta Maharaj says, remain with the I am, he means remain with that sense of presence.
Right.
When Ramakant Maharaj says, remain with the selfless self, be with you always, he means that sense of presence. Because that sense of presence has appeared to that you are. So you remain with the sense of presence. And obviously, if you can remain with the sense of presence, you are not the presence. The presence is an indication, like they talk about the deer and the musk from the deer, and he's jumping around trying to find the scent, but it's coming from himself. So this sense of presence, that's why Nisargadatta Maharaj says that the I am is the doorway from illusion to reality. Of course, there's no doors. Let's not make a concept and say, oh, but this door or that door, which door is it that I go through? Or how does the door open? Does it open into presence or does it open outside of presence? No, the door is just words to say, okay, there's presence. And there's this knower. Or knowledge, as we can say. Knowledge is the sense of existence. The knower of the sense of existence is your own self. Formless, absolute formless, because you don't even have to say formless, because when you are with yourself, it's nothing. It erases all illusion to remain with your selfless self.
But you can still say you're still there.
You can't even really say,
I mean,
no, no, we cannot. You can say that there's a sense of presence that you're aware of, but you can't really say that you as something is there, or that you as something is aware.
That's what,
Because when you remain there, it's
just there. It's what it is.
it's just so deep. There's and everything then is a layer on this. So you remain with your selfless self. And right now, if you identify, and that's why Maharaj says, if you identify yourself as the sense of presence, okay, this is good because at least you're not identifying yourself with the body form that you're absolutely not. And then you say, oh, I have these problems and there are people in my life and all this trouble. You're not identified with the body because you're identified with a sense of presence. And that's a very good first step. So that erases all this, what's going on in the world and should I care about the world, and there's good things, bad things going on and all that, because I'm just remaining with the sense of presence and I know the entire world is projected from that. So I identify myself as presence on which this world appears. And for a time, that's good. Then you know, oh, wait a minute. There's an awareness of the sense of presence, so how could I be presence? Because that's still something, duality. There's a duality, myself and presence. So it's not true. So then you say, oh, even this presence, even this sense of existence is not true. And now, invisible, anonymous, unidentified identity. Nothing is there. And at first you might close your eyes and oh, nothing's there. Okay, now you're remaining with yourself in this deepness. But then even now, you don't have to remain in this deepness because you are that. And this is when Maharaj says, you don't have to keep reminding yourself, I'm a man, I'm a man, I'm a man, I'm a man, or I'm a woman, I'm a woman, I'm a woman, I'm a woman. You just remain.
How about when it feels like it's turning into like white light, kind of?
Again, this is an experience, and where you are, there's no experience, no experiencer. So you just have to, as Maharaj would say, dig a little deeper. And again, when we say dig a little deeper, just like when Siddhameshwara Maharaj says reverse, reverse, there's nothing that's reversing. This is a pointer as to while you are believing that you have a sense of attention, that the attention is directed in the direction of your own self and not outward to all the show. When you go to a movie theater, you get lost in the world, especially Avatar. That was a really cool movie, by the way. That you get lost in the world.
Yeah.
That's the purpose of this 3D effect, is to be lost in the world. And you can actually lose the touch of I'm sitting in this seat.
Yeah.
Because of all the things that are appearing before you, you appear as if you are immersed in this world. But in reality, you are in the theater.
Mm.
Even in those scenes where it was really cool how the water, like when the people are in the water and the water is bouncing. And because I was sitting in the far back, you could see the water in the theater. But the people in the front row are not like, oh my God, we're drowning. This is terrible. I'm having a terrible experience. There's just an appearance of water. And so, when you remain with your selfless self, no matter how real it feels or no matter how immersed you are in the world, it is absolutely illusion.
It's like sometimes I wonder if it can really be taken that far.
Taken what far?
To where you really do see the world as illusion.
Well, of course, once you know yourself in a real sense, it can't be anything other.
Yeah. Because it seems, at least in the ordinary way of thinking, it seems like denial. Yeah.
But there's no one to deny.
Yeah. Right.
You could say the same in a dream. Somebody comes up to you and says, this is all a dream. And you don't know it's a dream. You say, no, 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 it's not a dream. What are you talking about? I go to work every day. I'm doing this thing. I'm getting in this car. We're driving. If this was a dream, could I drive this car into this lake and get wet? Well, yes, you could, actually. Because when you wake up in the morning, you say, oh, I was arguing with this person who told me that we're dreaming. And I told him he's silly and crazy. But now I'm waking up and I see, oh my gosh, that was the truth. That was the reality. And when you know yourself in a real sense, okay, the world is appearing, but it can't interact with you. Like it's not, just as you really can't, as the laying down dreaming person, interact in your dream, except that you take a form within the formlessness, within the dream consciousness, and you perform activities within the dream using this little avatar of yourself. But you laying down sleeping. So now when you know yourself in a real sense, okay, your avatar is out there moving around, and it's not just this avatar, it's all the avatars are moving, because you know also in a dream that even though you may dream that you're a little person dreaming, or that you're in the dream, when you wake up, you know, oh my God, like I was everything in that dream. Everyone I talked to was myself, because who else could it be?
That's why, when I try to put it into words, that's when I say, well, that's where everything is nothing. And I still have that temptation to put it in words.
That's why you remain with yourself. You should spend all your time sitting with yourself quietly and investigating. Because once you know yourself in a real sense, that's it.
And part of the reason I do want to keep putting it in words is because I feel compelled to try to communicate it with others, at least to some degree, so that hoping that they'll get a taste of something worth looking beyond their usual way of looking at reality.
There are no others. And the reason why you want words is because you believe yourself to be a speaker,
I
a
guess,
specific individual speaker.
and I believe them to be individual beings
Mm.
also with that aren't as perceiving what I feel fortunate to at least get tastes of it,
But and even that, I mean, you remain with yourself. If you're here, how can there be a world? How can there be people? How can?
Mm.
But still there's the part of the doing the duty, and I feel it's my duty to help them or something, or to help all of us really.
Only if you're a helper when you're not trying to help. When it's a spontaneous action in the moment.
Mm. Mm.
Because there really are no others.
Yeah, I guess I sort of get a sense of that, but
How could there be others? When you remain with yourself as self, there cannot be individuality. There cannot be even duality.
then what does it mean to do your duty then at that point?
Well, because you know yourself in a real sense, but this body form is available. Just like when you're dreaming, until you wake up, you have a body form available. You do what is needed doing in the moment in the dream.
But
I
if you
mean,
lose all,
nobody dreams that they're just sitting in the corner. Well,
but if you lose all sense that even anybody is anybody other, it seems like you would. Seems like, of course, seems is this thing. It seems like you would do nothing, but that's
well,
not
experience
really-
that for yourself.
Yeah.
When you know yourself in a real sense, these questions just won't be there because you won't be giving any power to the mind. You'll be just remaining with yourself.
Then nothing becomes an issue anymore, I guess.
Yeah, you're in a world of name and form, using a body for a time. You're the holder of the body. Formlessly, you're the holder of all the bodies. No need to even say this. Just do your job, do your duties, and don't take the touch of anything that might happen in the illusory world. Definitely don't cry about illusory problems that are not there, that appear to someone who is not. And don't form imaginary enemies or say, oh, I don't like this person, or this person's not nice, or da da da. No, just move about.
Would you say you're operating on a sort of what's akin to common sense in the moment? Because when things appear,
It's just scenes appearing and disappearing. Whatever's in the moment is done. Next scene, next scene, next scene. There's not enough of you there to form the concept that I am doing something. It's just scenes appearing and actions being done, and that's it. Because nothing's happening.
you do act spontaneously in the moment, responding to what's happening. But it's not you responding, it's response responding, kind of like, I guess.
Well, I mean, see, again, now we delve in. You can immediately, when you start asking these questions, you can feel the heaviness of the question.
Yeah.
We're like sinking into the quicksand of illusion. But if you remain with yourself as self, you'll see quite nicely. You can do your job, do your duties, take care of all your responsibilities, answer your emails, do your work, go to the movies, go to the park, play in the snow, and be with your selfless self.
So why even determine whether it's common sense or not? It's not an issue.
I don't understand common sense when you're in this space that you are, and just looking at presence, awareness of presence, and then, oh, so that I am that, and here. No experience, no experience. No witness, no witnesser. Where's the questions?
It's so hard to get used to not using my mind.
Well, you just go drop behind it. That's very easy too. Okay, there's thoughts flowing. You allow those thoughts to flow, and you're here observing these thoughts, and you're out of mind. That's like done. Mind can be there, mind cannot be there. That's why Nisargadatta Maharaj talks about swoon, which I really don't understand what swoon is, but I guess it's like you like faint or something. But you're not losing yourself. Just like when you fall asleep at night. If you had to continuously know yourself to be, then when you fell asleep, you would just disappear. There'd be no other side. Because sleep would be like, that's it. I forgot myself and I'm gone. Oh no. Like that'd be every night you would just disappear. And that would be it. Like tonight you go to sleep and that's it. You're finished. But you don't sleep. These states appear. And that's how you wake up the next morning, because there's one continuum that's not sleeping. The concept of I exist, sleeping, and waking are states on your presence. Presence has appeared to you. You remain, just again, identify with presence. Okay, for a time. Then it drops. Oh. And just like this.
That's where I get confused. Can you even call that you anymore? Because it's not.
Who cares? You don't. I mean, seriously, when you're with your selfless self, there's no one there that's going to care about anything. Even somebody says, oh, you know what? You're using an escape method or whatever. Okay, that's very nice. That's good. Oh, you're escaping from reality. No, I'm escaping from illusion and remaining with reality. I'm one with the reality because I'm no longer fantasizing and conceptualizing about an illusory something other than reality.
And Siddhara Meshwar does call it one. He does talk about it being there's one reality, and anything other
Well,
than one is
there has
not.
to be only one reality. How can there be multiple realities?
That does make sense. Yeah. Oh, it does. Even when you think about it, it kind of makes.
Multiple realities would have to appear on the background of reality. So they would be virtual realities, which is what sort of we have when we have the waking state and the dream state.
But isn't at that, he says it's one, but that's still a word. And you say you're sometimes saying it's nothing, which seems to be the opposite of one, but actually it's not.
Well, I think Ranjit Maharaj says zero.
Hmm.
Because when you say one, you start counting from one, and there has to be one to count. So now there's me and one, but one is the illusion. The sense of existence is the first illusion in which I start to gather concepts of I exist as this person, first, I exist as this body, I exist as this person, I exist in this world. These are all the layers of illusion. I exist as the first illusory kind of appearance.
Hmm.
That's why you can know this. You can know presence. Maharaj says, your presence. Like your car, your shirt. It is yours. It has appeared to you. And because you cling to this sense of presence, that is where all the illusory concepts can stick. Oh, I exist. I have to protect this I exist. No. The one that exists doesn't need to protect the I exist. The I exist appeared because the one that exists is there. Maharaj says presence clicked with the body, and you say I.
I think this session is going to be helpful when we're not meeting to listen to it again.
Good.
It's still, I still, my mind gets hung up on the sense of existence. Is anything existing or not? It's like.
Well, do you meditate? I mean, do you sit quietly and just kind of whatever mantra you may have, you just sit there and you're just sitting?
Occasionally, mostly I just try to do the mantra throughout the day.
Okay, that's good too. Then the one that's observing your actions moving about, when mantra is erasing the concept of illusion, that's good. Like there's no concepts sticking to you.
Yeah, it does seem like a nothing, like a nothingness.
No I, no you, no he, she, it, nothing. We don't have to say nothing. Because when did you come across the nothing? Prior to being this, you knew nothing about nothing. All concepts came along with the body. And you are not body.